Thank you very much.
Please, the full name?
Martin Kwasi Abrokwah.
Martin Kwasi Abrokwah. And who are you?
I'm just an ordinary person like you are.
But we learned you are an anthropologist.
Etymologist and anthropologist.
Okay, yeah. Etymologist and anthropologist. Yeah. So, as an anthropologist, what do you do?
I try to find out the origin of names. Yeah, I work with names and then find out the origin of Akan people, especially and the Guam people of Ghana today.
Okay, so where are you based in Ghana?
In Tabora. Yeah, Accra. Tabora in Accra. Yeah.
In Accra.
Yeah.
So which means you are in Ghana.
I'm in Ghana at the moment until the 25th of next month. I have to go away.
Oh, okay.
I don't live here. I live in Europe.
Which means you don't live here
at all.
So which part of Europe are you?
In Germany, sometimes in England. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But you've brought out this topic, generated huge controversy.
Yeah, absolutely.
On social media, and it's all about Christ.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Because we all know that Jesus Christ was born in Nazareth. Bethlehem of Nazareth. Yeah. But also Jesus is Ghanaian. How come? Explain a Hokakra now.
Okay. You see, Ghana for no, yena nanum na Israel. Yena nanum Israel. In Pempi, you know, baby ombe kubia ombe tudin biano. On tudin wunim. This is Hebrew culture and tradition. In Kra wunim did that. And to me finding PD out, you know. I didn't especially focus on Isreal to find out Jesus Christ or whoever where he's coming.
Okay, before you continue now. Yes, I
mean Hebrew for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We should make it English. Okay.
Yeah, that it shouldn't be restricted from conversational English.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So if I understand you, which means our forefathers were Hebrews.
Yes, and they migrated from Israel, ancient Israel, through Egypt, North Africa. They came down, some went down to build ancient Ghana Empire. Those who were in Carthago, the English say Carthage. And those who lived in Egypt and Libya, that time they called Libya Trene, which is Akan language once more. They moved down, they established a kingdom called Burma Kingdom in north of Lake Chad. They moved down to establish a small city-state in northern Nigeria called Kebbi. They were conquered by the Hausa queen, and then 500 after Christ. And then they moved down to establish Songhai Empire, with its capitals Nkoko, later became known as, first it was Kukua.
Okay.
Yes, and they moved the capital from Kukua to Nkoko, and they later became known as Gao. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But all these places you are mentioning, they are not in Ghana.
No, this is in Sahara, where we find Niger, Mali today. And where we find Ghana Empire is where we find Mali today. Yeah.
We've listened to some chiefs and traditional leaders speak, but the issue of we being Jews has never come up.
Oh, no, sure. I remember the king of Ashanti, this present king, went to Kwapim to look for Okonfo. He was trying to trace the origin of Okonfo. He went to Abrokwah. They were pouring libation, and they mentioned some things which really got me so deep. They say Israel, Sechiyama Mugunsan. He poured the libation. Then he mentioned Israel. Yeah. And I was surprised that they could associate themselves to Israel. And Sechiyama, this Sechi is Isaac. Ama was the name of a goddess of our foreparents, called foreparents. Yes. And so they call Sechiyama means the god of Isaac, really. Because if you translate the Sechi in our language to English, it's Isaac. Yisak. And Isaac is a zero of Sechi.
So how do you do the translation? Because I'm getting confused.
Yeah,
I know Sechi to be a thing. Then all of a sudden Sechi has a name that goes with it in English. Since when?
We call it zero in ethnological studies, which we people don't know here. Zero is a method which we use to enter names and to find out the origin of names. For instance, we call a name like Qurantin. The same name is Tinkran. Yeah, this is a zero of one another. We call them Yinka. So if you go to Israel, Cain is what in English says Cain. Yes, this is the original name. So Yinka is the original name of Cain. Yes. Okay. We use a method called Zeruf. Without the method Zeruf, you can't enter names. And a method called Notaricon. These are the two prominent methods we use to enter names.
So how do you do it? Is there any equipment or
it's just
mathematical?
It's like mathematical. It's a method. We can break the name like Cherediampon. Every piece will mean something. Chere, Dia, Mpon. Every piece means something. If I bring them together, it means another thing. It's only Hebrew names that you can apply this method. Yes, it's known. If you read a book called Hebrew Names and Their Origin, etymological dictionary, written by Guggenheimer and Guggenheimer, this you can find all this method to how to apply names, apply this method.
So after applying this method, it came out that our forefathers were Jews.
Absolutely, and not only
and
that.
Now we've forgotten about all these things.
They were Hebrew Aramaic group. Jew is a religion, like Christianity and Muslim. Our foreparents, Hebrew Aramaic foreparents, established this religion, Jewish religion. Jew is English, derived from Judentum, or the Judeos. Judeos is Greek, and the Germans derived Judentum from Judeos. From this came the English Jew. This Jew word the word existed before. It's G, this word we call G in Akan. It's the ancient Canaanite word, means measure of land, which we don't know. So in this case, we are speaking the ancient language, which we don't know. Yeah, because we've lost our roots to our foreparents who established all those cultures.
So is there any link between what we practice today that we call our traditional religion to what used to be?
Absolutely. If you look at Maccabi, the book of Maccabees, you see them calling libation the same way we do it today by the Akan people, how we call our gods. Our religion, what is Jewish religion? Jewish religion is the Bosomson we are worshipping today. Absolutely, which people don't know. Yes, we've been suppressed by the new religion as Christianity, and this is why it's been fucked up in this way. Yeah, but the Jewish religion is the original. It's the original Bosomson we are worshipping.
Okay,
today.
So they pour libations and everything.
Absolutely, they did it that time.
So let's find.
I have them in my book.
Let's find out. Let's go back to the Jesus Christ story. So, what was the aim of doing that research?
My aim was to find out the origin of names of places. For instance, I didn't enter Siakwa just like that. I went to places like Egypt. You have a place called Potrasi in Achim once more.
Yeah, Potrasi, I know that.
Yeah, Potrasi is the biblical Patros. Patros is Egypt. Yeah, and the ancient Hebrew called this Patros Potrasi, and we still use this word Potrasi today.
One will argue that it looks as if the words sounds alike. That is why you are trying to,
I applied the method in Notaricon in Zeruf. I always apply these methods. Without these methods, you can't find the origin of names. You can't just say it sounds the same, and so you just.
So it's not about the sound.
No way. It's sometimes
yes, Patros and Potrasi.
Yes, the Greek people took it from the ancient Hebrew language, Patros. Esiakwa and Bethlehem is totally different names. How did I come across this? So it doesn't sound.
So Esiakwa means Bethlehem.
Absolutely. Esiakwa means the meaning of Esiakwa is Yesihakwa. Means we have stopped here in vain. Then the next question is Ahin. So Ahin, you can derive the Bethlehem from Ahin, or the Ahin from the Bethlehem. Sorry, yeah, the Ahin from the Bethlehem. This is it. This makes Esiakwa Bethlehem. It's antonym. Ahin is the antonym of Esiakwa, and Ahin is derived from Bethlehem.
So through the research, it came out that Jesus Christ is a Ghanaian. This is very strange.
Jesus Christ was an Akan man. I don't care about this person. As you people have taken him so much. I'm not a Christian. I don't care about whoever he was, and wherever he was coming from. I know Ghanaians will be contemplating about that. I knew it already before I came. Since 2010, I published a book. But I didn't care because this was the right thing that I was doing. I didn't care your questions and all these things, your Jesus Christ or whatsoever he was. You know, it's the Europeans who have made this person what he is today. He himself wouldn't accept it. He was not Christ. The Christ was even added to his name. He was Yesu, or the Joshua, as many people say. Jesus Christ was coming from a word called light. Yes, it's our language once more. And they combine it with his name, Christos, or the Christ. It wasn't his name. He didn't know this word. You understand what I mean? Yeah, man.
So after knowing that he comes from Ghana,
he's from Akan. Akan from Achin.
From Ghana.
Yeah, I mean Ghanaians were the Israelites.
Okay.
Yes.
So
if Jesus Christ were to be living today, then he must be a Ghanaian. That's what I mean to say.
Okay. So did you search further to find out? Yes, from Achin. Did you find the family lineage?
No, this was not my work. I didn't care about you, Jesus Christ. Once more, I repeat it.
But don't you think that would have been more convincing?
No,
so that people would believe what you are saying?
My work wasn't based on Jesus Christ. I'm not a Christian. Once more, listen to me. My work wasn't based on Jesus Christ. My work was based on Akan people and their migration. This just came just like that. Yeah, the Jesus Christ didn't play a big role for me in my work, and he's not so much in my book. My book is mainly based on Akan and their origin, their migration, and the Goa people, their migration.
But aren't you surprised that since Jesus Christ, as you're saying, didn't play a major role, or the name was not that dominant in the book, yet when it came out, when this revelation of yours came out, it is everywhere and people are talking about it. And don't you think that it would have been better if you were to research further to make it more convincing, so that we can trace what you're saying?
Once more I repeat it, Jesus Christ didn't play a role, he wouldn't play a role in my book.
But are you surprised that since that aspect of your book came out, everybody's talking about it?
Yeah, Ghana, the white people where I live in Europe, they didn't bother much about this because it doesn't play any big role. What they cared about is the people, the Akan people. Where were the descendants? Where did the descendants of ancient Israel landed at the end of the day? This is plays main important for the people than Jesus Christ. As you people have taken him, because you believe in this person as God or whatsoever, and so you make it a case. I don't care about that. And I wouldn't go and search for Jesus Christ, his home, and I know he's from Bethlehem, and Esiakwa is Bethlehem. So if you say he was born in Bethlehem, then he must be a Esiakwa man.
But he didn't bother to find out who he was saying that you believe in him?
Not so much, not much. I don't believe in. I believe in my creator. This is me, the most important. Anything doesn't play any role to me.
So pay your research. Who was he?
Who?
Pay your research, Jesus Christ.
He was a prophet or somebody, a preacher man. Yeah, who was preaching from time to preaching in the world. So if you say, so is that. More not. Like he was son of God here, I'm a son of God. He was also the son of every Akan man now is the son of God. It's not only Jesus Christ. He was a Messiah. Messiah is a Chiame, the person who is the linguist between man and God. Like our foreparents, the king was a God in person. So it's as the ancient Israel or the Egypt. And so he was a Messiah. He was not even calling himself Messiah. They gave him the title. That's the person between God and the man. Messiah is Ochiame or the Chiame.
So what you are saying, is it your personal belief or
no.
It's part of the research?
It's part of the research. Nothing is my personal belief.
Yeah, I just want to.
Yeah, I base my argument on etymological studies and anthropological studies. I don't do things myself. I did research from over 200 books, encyclopedia and lexica, and so I can't be the decisive of this book.
Do you believe in the Bible?
Not so much, because the Bible is totally fucked up. I believe in different books like Torah or the Talmud or the Kabbalah, the book Kabbalah. Bible is totally fucked up by the people who really wrote them, like in James Version or the Revised Standard Version. It's not a book that one can read and believe that you're going to enter heaven. Where is the heaven? Where is the heaven?
I asked you this question because the Bible says a different thing about Jesus that we're talking about. Because the Bible says he's the son of God.
Yes, so they
came to die. Do you believe in
no,
resurrection?
No, absolutely not. Every human being at 3 days, if you read J.B. Dankwa, the religion of Akan, or that Akan religion, it tells you every human being after 3 days you go. So the first 3 days you live, the spirit lives, on. And then after that, you go away. And Jesus didn't resurrect. Somebody, Joseph the Arimathea, he was the one who went to pay this Jesus, the Elisha, the body, and buried him in his own cemetery or his own whatever grove or whatever he had. So he didn't resurrect from the death as you Christians were saying what I was saying. Somebody picked the dead body and buried it. You have to read more. The Bible, behind the Bible, we have.
So what you are saying was also part of the research that you
did. Yes, it is in my book. Behind the Bible, we have lexicon. That it translates more deeper about the Bible. The Bible is just it's a small part of the whole book. You know what I mean? The lexicon will teach you more. Will teach you the names and names of places, the original names and names of places. The Bible is just sieved for people with little understanding to understand it. This is what the Bible is.
Okay, let's move away from the Bible and come back to Jesus Christ being a Ghanaian. After the research, have you in any way bothered to talk to the chiefs and the elders of?
I decided to see the Asante Hine and the Ochihine because they both are coming from the same lineage. This Nsona and this Ayoko, these are the two clans established by the tribe Judah, which David belonged to it. So these two groups, Nsona and Ayoko, belong to the house David. So the Nsona people are the lineage. Those people are ruling at Chimabok are the lineage. Afterwards, they ruled. After the nation broke up into pieces, they continued ruling the southern kingdom, that's the kingdom of Judah. And the Yoko people ruled the northern kingdom, which was, we had Osei before. This Osei dynasty, Otunfo Osei Tutu and all this, it's coming directly from ancient Israel. Yes. And so they continue ruling with this Ayoko dynasty from the house David. And this also, Nsona continue ruling from the same house, because Judah established these two clans, Ayoko and Nsona. And so both are coming from the house David. Either the Asante Hine or the Ochihine. Both are coming from the house David. And the Nsona people, the Nsona man was the first person who crossed the Red Sea. The time they were crossing, he was the first person. And the first person who led the tribe Judah to enter Israel.
The first person who crossed the Red Sea?
Yeah, who entered
Are you talking about the days of Moses?
Yes, man. I mean to say.
So you researched into
pure
the number of people who crossed the Red Sea?
It was about 40,000 or so. Yes.
Wow. And your calculation captured the first person who crossed the Red Sea?
It's written. My calculation is not my calculation. It's written. The first person who calculates is the person the Nsona took their name from. Nason. Nsona is the Zeruf of Nason. In the Bible they call it Nashon. Yes. And Ayoko, the name the Oyo people took their name from, Yokuom, he was the first person who led them to enter the land, Israel, Canaan. Yes.
Okay. So what are you saying? Which means Moses was also a Ghanaian?
His name is Musi. Musi is a Akan name. In my hometown, we had a Abrokwah Musi. Musi is tree name. I think people call Musi. Yes. Moses actually, they were more or less Guan people. Because Levi, the name Levi is Labi.
But that one never came up. Because all this while we've been talking about Jesus.
Yeah, because
being a Ghanaian, but Moses is also a Ghanaian.
All the 12 tribes of Israel, they are all Ghanaians, man. Today they are Ghanaians.
Who are the ones upstairs? Israel. Who are the ones there?
Those people there,
yeah.
They are not Israelites. They are coming from Kazan, a land today we find in Russia. 900 after Christ, they were conquered by the Slavs. Slav is to the Russians. Then after they spread themselves in the Central Europe, they took the religion, Jewish religion. But they are not Hebrews. A Jew is a religion. Anybody can take it. So they spread themselves in Central Europe until the First and the Second World War. They conquered by the Germans. And they moved down to ancient, present Israel. Don't forget, the land was called Palestine. Who gave the name Palestine to the land? It was Hadrian, the Roman king, the Roman Caesar, After he conquered our foreparents, he renamed the land Palestine, like palace. So is that. So it's not the people who live there calling themselves Palestine gave the name to this land. It was Roman king.
So which means currently those who are living there, they are not the original
origins
of the place.
They are the remnants of ancient Greeks and ancient Romans. And when Muhammad colonized them, he gave them a title name, religion, Arab and Muslim religion.
So let's come back. In your effort to see your change in for what happened?
Sorry?
In your effort to see your change in for what happened?
In my effort to see.
I
haven't made any move because I don't have any person to lead me to anywhere. I'm just Englishman in New York. I'm hanging up. I'm hoping to get somebody to help me, to lead me, to help me, to bring this stuff to the people because it's their history. I've been able to establish the dynasty of the Ashanti king, able to establish the dynasty of the Achin king, origin. I've done in my book. Yes, so I can present it to them. They can see where their dynasties are coming from directly.
So apart from the Ashantis and the Achins,
the Nchira people, the Afanti people, everybody, I know where the Ewe people are coming from. I know where the Dagomba people are, the Philistines, the Mule Dagbani, and the Fulani.
Are there other names that are, that has dominated our religious scene, like you mentioned Moses? Are there other names that come from Ghana, but we have not highlighted it?
Like what?
No, I want to find out. You mentioned Moses as a Ghanaian, and I want to find out whether there are other names.
Like Aaron or what?
Yes.
Yeah, Ahor. It is Winneba people call the name Ahor. This is the original name of Aaron.
Okay, which is Aaron was a Fanti.
I mean, they were all Agwan people. I would say they were originally. Akan people are from Guan. Guan people are Akan people. Akan people are Guan people. This is the fact. Yes, Akan people originated from Guan. Guan is Amorites. Yes, and Amorite, every Akan belong to Amorite. This is what we call Busumuru. Busum means Baal. Muru is the original name for Amorite. Amorite is English word. So it's that.
How do you feel if these whites begin to claim ownership of the name Jesus Christ?
They haven't claimed. Nobody is claiming. I mean, they saw that no people.
Because there is a belief that Jesus Christ was a white man.
Who believe that? The black people believe in that. The white people doesn't believe in that. The white people themselves, they don't believe in that.
So are you trying to say that our churches of today are being deceived?
Absolutely. 1,000%.
Wow. Wow. We spoke to some pastors who are disputing what you are saying.
I know the pastors will dispute because I'm not a money collector. They are using it to collect their money. It's their daily bread, and I'm coming to bring a new stuff that will convince the people to know the. In German we say Aufklärung. In English it's enlightenment. I'm bringing some enlightenment to the people. And they wouldn't eat their bread as they're supposed to be eaten, so they will criticize, definitely. And I don't care. I knew it before I came here. I knew my people. I know what they are doing to their people. Poor people collecting everything from their pocket, and at the end of the day, they're just walking around penniless. And then those professors, what they call themselves, driving big cars, living in mansions. They call it 10th of whatsoever. Uppington, Cranton, this 10 is what we say 10 for the tiddies, what the people were collecting. It's a tradition already. It's ancient tradition. 10.
Some people are calling this research you've done as fun.
Yeah, they can call it. It took me over 25 years to do this, and if I'm stupid and crazy, I wouldn't spend my time, devote my time for that. Have they done anything like that? They can bring it, and then we can talk about it.
So one would ask, what would be the benefit
for the
us as Ghanaians?
For the people to know where they are coming from, to know their roots, where they belong to, so that they can know what they are doing. Perhaps they can make it better in future. This is it. For my people to know their roots, to know where they are coming from, because a race without history is just like a tree without roots. Okay.
So will you go further, knowing that now the Jesus story has become popular, people are interested?
I see.
Go further to research further to find out, okay, Jesus comes from Achin. What else does he come from?
Jesus comes from Judah, the tribe Judah. The tribe Judah is Achin today. This is what you people have to put it in their mind. Jesus was a Judean from Judah. This we know it in the Bible.
Yeah, but we would love to find out more.
And
when you get to Achim, there are so many families.
Listen, I'm not interested in this Jesus Christ to go and find out which family he belonged to. He is not.
So if somebody decides to do that, can you assist that person?
In which ways should I assist him?
Because you know how the calculation has been done. Yeah. Let's say I decide that, okay, if Jesus Christ is a Ghanaian, in order for us to know and authenticate, or for us to own it, the bragging rights or anything of that sort, I'd love to investigate further. So you being the professional, assist me so that at least we can go further. So that if we know that, okay, this is the house or this is the family Jesus Christ comes from, at least it will be a tourist attraction site.
Okay, if I have the chance and the time, I will do it, because I've gone far beyond this level. I've gone to find out which clan King David himself belonged to. He's more than Jesus Christ. He's the one. So I've gone so far to find out the clans. David Dudu was his name. David is English. His real name was Dudu. So I've gone far to find out the two clans he belonged to. And so I mean, Jesus reference for me just a peanut, really. Okay. I've done one Napoleon.
So how long would it take if I decide to pick it up on myself?
It depends on how far you go deeper into the book as etymological studies. And anthropological, especially etymological, because etymology, we use every letter means for us everything. We use letters to work like mathematicians use figures, and this is it. If you want to know much, then you have to study etymology. It's best, and we don't study them in Ghana or anywhere in Africa. This is a pity, is it? And this is why we can't know our origin. We are unable to know our origin as Akans or Africans, where we're coming from. Or the origin of the name Africa, origin of the name Ghana, or whatsoever and what so not. Without the etymology, you can't enter any book to know the origin of any name. So we have to first study the etymology. It's important.
So you recommend? We're looking at if anybody can trace, to where or the family
of Jesus.
Of Jesus.
Yes, I call him Jesus often.
that was where we stopped. So can it be done?
I will give you a tip. Akwamu people are worshipping this as their deity. So if you want to know it, you can go to Akwamu and ask them, where did they get this deity, this Ayesu or Ayesu as their deity? They can give you.
What's the name again?
Ayesu. Ayesu, or that, let's say Kwasi and I say Kwasi, yes, and Oyesu. Where did this Akwamu get this deity from? They will give you a proper answer, because Esiakwa was a territory of Akwamu people before my grandmother came to establish that city-state Esiakwa. Yes.
Okay, so you also come from Esiakwa?
Originally, we grew there, but I don't have any family really. Like he said, he knows it. And some people are more the rulers of Esiakwa. I'm coming from Oyoko family. My grandmother was the grounder of the Oyoko dynasty in Esiakwa. Her descendants grounded the Kumasi dynasty, Kumawu dynasty, Nsuta dynasty, Jabin dynasty, Kokofu dynasty. It's all coming from Esiakwa.
Okay. But one will argue that, don't you think you come from there? That is why.
I'm not coming from Esiakwa. I'm not original.
No,
I'm ruling Esiakwa. I don't have a single family there. Actually, my father's side is Esiakwa. My mama's side, we don't know there. We even don't know there.
No, but whichever way, part of your,
yeah, as a ruler. But we don't have any family. I don't have any affiliation to the land.
So you don't have any personal interest in terms of that. Somebody will argue. Let's consider our social setting. One may argue that you are trying to highlight Esiakwa because the father comes.
No. Actually, I mean, we belong to my mothers, and I'll be proud to. My mother is originally Ashanti from the CNC and so on and so forth and so on. Whatsoever. But my grandmother established this dynasty there, so we ruled there. My interest wasn't about Esiakwa. My interest was establishing dynasty, establishing towns, places like Kumasi, because Kumasi is much known in the white man's land, or the Chibi, or the Cape Kosegwa. For me, these were the main places that I had interest in establishing them. But then at the end of the day, I asked myself, your people established a Esiakwa dynasty. So why don't you look for yourself? One day, one will ask you a question. You say you will rule Esiakwa. What is Esiakwa then? So I tried to find out the Esiakwa. And this is how I came to find out.
Okay, so that was the motivation.
Yeah.
For the research that you did.
Yes, I was a bit surprised because it wasn't anything that I needed it. I don't need it. If Esiakwa would have been Sika or English, I wouldn't have cared. It's not my thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
So how has been the reaction after publishing the book?
My reaction was nothing so extraordinary, because my reaction came when I started the research.
I'm talking about the reaction from the public.
Ghanaian public.
Yeah.
It's what we are witnessing today.
But what about outside Ghana?
The people didn't react of anything, or the white people who read the book and gave compliment. They gave compliment for people to read the book so that they can know more, they can do research. It's a good book to do research from it. But to be so specific on Jesus and Bethlehem and Esiakwa, they didn't bother. It doesn't bother them, or I didn't bother them.
So don't you think that people, by knowing that Jesus Christ, the ever popular Jesus Christ, come from Ghana, would be lured to come down and watch where Jesus comes from as a tourist attraction?
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be good for the country. I want people to know the original truth, not what is hanging up somewhere else that people used to call themselves this and this, which they are not. I want people to get to know Ghana, the Garden of Paradise. The meaning of Ghana itself Ghana itself is Hebrew, means the Garden of Paradise. So the people should come, and it was prophesied. I've established for you a new nation, a nation where you can worship your God. Take up your room for God and go. And this new nation will be New Israel. This is written also in the book.
We spoke to some chiefs from Esiakwa, and they are saying that they've never heard it before.
But they are illiterates. None of them has learned etymology. So
but at least, something that has been passed on.
You can ask Ashanti King. He knows they are coming from Israel. Go and ask Ashanti King. They know this instinct. They know it already. The kings and the people who are ruling the circle, they are just nothing at the moment. Those people, they are just nothing. I don't consider them to anything because they are not from even the ruling family, ruling class family. We are the ruling class family. Those people are just aspirants. They just want it. They don't know anything.
Okay, I don't want us to do that because normally on our network we don't handle chieftains. I just brought it up.
Thank you very much.
To clarify issues. So now, if one is to lead you to achievement or Otumfo, are you willing to do?
Absolutely, because the word Otumfo itself is in the book. I've arranged it. Otumfo, the word for or the fo, you can use Akanfo, Kwelfo. The fo is independent word, yeah, and it's also it has got its origin. It was when the Creator was creating the universe. Master was sitting down there. And Master afterward, the Master was a monkey. This is a Akan legend. This I didn't know it until I read the book from J.J. Williams. Yes. And the Master, after the Creator finished the work, the Master asked the Creator, so what is my share? I helped you. I was sitting down when you were creating all this. And the Creator told me, then I'm going to add to you a name called effort. From this we got effort. This is a Akan legend. It was written by a white man, which I myself did, and you yourself, you don't know it. So how the folk came to be, you don't know it. But white man could make sure.
You've been talking about reading books. Don't you think some of the books may be misleading?
Hey, so you think 230 books can be misleading? You sure?
I'm just.
It's research, scientific research books. Everyone brings this idea. No one refuses anyone. Everyone tells what he thinks, writes what he feels. And at the end conclusion, we all come into a conclusion and say, okay, this should be the whole thing. This is a scientific research. It's different people making research and then writing their ideas, what they found out, they think about this people, or this group, or this race. Yes. Concerning their tradition, their religion, their names-giving culture, sculpture, and language plays a role. Yeah.
Now let's go back to the David story. Why do you consider David as important than Jesus Christ in your research?
I don't consider David as important as Jesus Christ, but you consider Jesus as something special, Jesus as something special, and so because the white man has convinced you. He has made you believe that this is God. Jesus wasn't God. Jesus was a human being. Yes, he was a human being like you and me. There's only one God, the Shofar, that the creator is Nyankopon. Jesus was not Nyankopon. So you can't make Jesus God. David was also a human being. Yes, Jude was also a human being.
But it looks as if you place more value on David.
He did much. I mean, from him came this Jesus, as you're saying. And Jesus was just a prophet, just a preacher man. That white people, at the end of the day, the white people who killed him made him popular. The Romans who killed him at the end of the day made him popular.
You said you believe in parts of the Bible.
Yeah, I mean parts of the Old Testament. So what should be believed? I believe in them, but not all.
Okay, so do you believe in the story of Jesus healing people, raising the dead, and all this?
We have it. We can have it in our social system here. Isa, for instance, was doing. I remember when I was a little boy, Isa was coming to our hometown and cutting the head of people in 3 days' time, bringing the head together and then resurrecting the person again. It's all magic.
And so.
Yeah. And so I see this also. This Jesus. If you say Nazareth, Nazarea, what you people don't know. It's coming from the word Nazi, N-A-S-I, Nazi. It's a person when a kid is born. Like we have some kids here in Ghana. They will bring them to fetish priests. They drew their hair, which we call today Rasa or Sorova, and Pese. These kids grow up in the house of this fetish priest. He's not supposed to see dead body or any dirty things.
Yeah.
This was Jesus, how he was brought up.
Okay, so Jesus Christ wore locks.
Yes, this is how he grew up. He had these locks. He grew up as Nazi, as Nazarea. Nazarea is the person who is not allowed to cut his hair, let it grow until the covenant is fulfilled. So it's Jesus.
So per your analysis, which means what was captured in the Bible, the various miracles that Jesus did, per the research that you did, it was not true.
No, he did the research. But I didn't base my research on Jesus, please, so much. He did miracles.
But at least the few.
He did miracles, as it is right.
They were magic, and other people can do it.
Yes, it's magic.
Some other people can do it.
Yes, if you gain that power, if you have that power, you can go up and establish yourself stronger and do some things like that.
Finally, are you disappointed in the way people are treating the topic, Jesus Christ is a Ghanaian? Because one would love that if it is true that Jesus Christ is a Ghanaian, Ghanaians would have been hailing you for doing that research. But it looks like otherwise.
No prophet is accepted in his own nation. And so no matter what you bring to your people, there will be argument. People will deny it. They wouldn't like to see themselves like that. They like to see this person or somebody else so that they can worship him and make money. They wouldn't like to worship themselves. No. This is so. And so I'm not surprised that this so-called prophets or whatsoever are making these noises. It's their own cup of tea. They better learn this book. Revelation, the movement of the Akan people from Canaan to Ghana.
So show it to the camera.
This is the book. Revelation, the movement of the Akan people from Canaan to Ghana. This book, we can get it from filling station opposite Abeka Market. The name is Goyle.
Okay.
After this weekend, the next coming Monday, this time you can get the book and buy it. And then you people can go through and then know yourself what is written, not just blah blah, sitting here talking blah blah. The truth is here. Yes.
So once again, in addition to all the very important things that you have said by way of discussion between you and your brother, what is the essence of this book in maybe 2 minutes, uninterrupted? Tell the camera.
The essence of this book is for the people to read and to know about themselves, especially the Ghanaians, the tribal groups, where they are coming from, their origin, their names given, their language, all these things where it originated from. I'll appreciate it if the people can really get to know themselves, and I'll be happy if they can really buy the book and then read more about what is written in the book, not just coming out and saying blah blah blah, the so-called prophets here making noises. They have to read. They have to make research. The research is not only the Bible. Behind the Bible, we have thousands of books that will put you in a proper position. This is my idea.
So if any pastor decides to come up to challenge what you're saying in an open challenge, are you ready?
Absolutely. Because I got my support. Yes, I'm not just talking. And I can give him references where he can find all these facts. Yes, I'm not saying. I've written them from different research books. It's not my own idea. Yeah.
Take another 2 minutes and recapture what you said and bring the Jesus angle out and make it as clearest as possible. This whole thing about Jesus is a Ghanaian, Jesus is an Akan, or Jesus is an Abrokwah person. Recraft it and make it, this is what I mean. In case you've misunderstood me, this is what I mean.
With the question of Jesus and Akan and Achim, I didn't work out to come out with where Jesus was coming from, actually. My work was trying to bring out the names and the origin of names and names of places. And it happened that Siakwa, as being Akan land, if you use a Notaricon and Zeruf, you can get this Siakwa from Bethlehem. And they then came as Siakwa as Bethlehem. From where Jesus Christ was coming from, that wasn't my intention, to make a Siakwa as Bethlehem and Jesus as a Siakwa man. Even this is not in my book that Jesus is a Siakwa of coming from a Siakwa. I've written Bethlehem as a Siakwa. That's all. Is it? So the people know Jesus Christ was born in Bethlehem, and so this is why they have made a case of it. No, not. I didn't write here that Jesus is coming from Bethlehem. I stated Siakwa is Bethlehem. And I worked out to let you know why a Siakwa Bethlehem is. That's all.
Okay, so how much does it go for this book?
65 CDs.
Okay.
Yeah, prison.
65 times.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not much.